but after a special weekend of playoff football and still regaling in the reality that the New York Jets are this much closer to getting to the Super Bowl themselves, the Yankees proving again over the weekend why no one should ever count them out, and the New York Mets, we're decorating. We have lots to do. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, Ken?
Oh, I'm great. I even brought you a present, which at some point during the show, you tell me, I will present to you.
Great. Presents?
Yes.
Well, what's Mondays? Presents?
Well,
football? Baseball? Good weather? I got it all.
I saw something. I thought of Craig, and I said, I'm getting it for him.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's how I do presents. I don't do presents because it's your birthday or because it's Christmas. I do presents when I see something and I know someone would appreciate it. I get it for him. So later on in the show, a present for you.
How fortunate am I here? Now, will many of you enjoy this day off and the memory, of course, of Martin Luther King Jr.? We appreciate the time that you're spending with us. And it was a great weekend. Great weekend. Not that you had the greatest games ever played, but a great weekend because if you're a New York Jet fan, you saw the future. And you saw the future in the Buffalo Bills. This is what I mean by that. 2018, which is only a couple seasons ago, the Buffalo Bills were 6-10. They were very upset with themselves. It was another year of Bills futility. And that's after actually getting to a playoff the year before and losing a 10-3 games to the Jaguars, in which people thought the two teams set football back 100 years offensively. But here we are 2 years later, and the Buffalo Bills are in the AFC Championship game. How did they do it? The right coach, the right quarterback. We're Jet fans. We got ourselves the right coach for damn sure, at least in my opinion. Now the question becomes, is Sam Darnold the right quarterback, or are we going to go against everything that Joe Douglas preached when he got the job?
Yes.
And that's building with draft picks and, yes, some free agents and doing it the right way. Are we going to go down that road?
Yes.
Because there's a sexy harlot at the end of that road named Deshaun Watson and be a playoff team, bang, next year.
You go get the sexy harlot. You go get the sexy harlot. And look, we're all going to be hypocrites sometime. You're going to realize this over the next few weeks and months. I guess I'm a hypocrite. You heard my reaction to a transaction my team made a few days ago. Obviously, I'm going to warm up to that. But everyone brings up that Sean Marks said something 4 years ago, and then he changed his mind. Circumstances change.
Okay.
When Joe Douglas or any other general manager talk, rightfully so, about building with cap space and having lots of draft picks and putting the right talent around a young quarterback like Sam Darnold, they're not lying to you. They're telling you the truth in the moment. How often in the history of this fine sport has a talent like Deshaun Watson become available?
I'm not sure that it's ever happened at this stage of his career.
Never!
Later on, when you want an old Joe Montana, sure.
Or Brett Favre that you instigated.
An old Brett Favre, which I loved getting Brett Favre. Let's get Brett. And I do have the trusty old Brett Favre getter in my hands. And
all right, let's try something.
I will put it to good use.
Let's get it on. Get me Deshaun.
Let's get it on. Get us Deshaun.
There you go.
Good start.
Let me tell you something.
Good start.
I know this is going to give many a Jet fan and Giant fans too, because they should be involved in this as well, a stomach ache. Stop overthinking cost. Stop overthinking, Craig, what Joe Douglas told you a year ago.
Yep.
When a talent like this becomes available, and I feel really good today, more so than I did 4 or 5 days ago when you shooshed me, you kind of flipped your hand at me, you hand-waved me.
A shoosher?
Deshaun Watson's not going anywhere. He's not going to the Jets. Stop fantasizing. We live in a world, let me remind you, Francisco Lindor's a New York Met. Corey Kluber is a New York Yankee.
That's right.
James Harden is a Brooklyn Net.
That's right.
All things are possible.
Yeah.
And I would be in on Deshaun Watson as far as I can go. I don't know if there's a trade package you can come up with or any caller can come up with that I would say no to.
And here's the beauty of it. When you talk about first-round picks, this is why a trade like the Jamal Adams trade was so important, because the Jets could give up 3 first-round picks and still have 3 first-round picks over the course of the next few years. You got 2, you got 2. So, yeah, you want to give up the number 2 this year. You want to give up the first-round pick next year. You still got first-round picks this year and next year.
If they pull this off, and the Jamal trade will be a big part of why I will gladly admit that I was dead wrong, and it was the greatest thing that ever happened to the New York Jets. Because I'm going to be consistent about one thing. I didn't like the Jamal trade. And a part of why I didn't like the Jamal trade, Craig, is I'd always say draft picks are lottery tickets. They're lottery tickets. They're lottery tickets. So I'm not going to let lottery tickets keep me from trading for an in-his-prime young quarterback who, by the way, I don't think is a bad guy. The fact he doesn't want to be a Houston Texan doesn't make him this evil man. Bring him in. Listen, and the Dolphins should be doing the same thing.
I hate the fact that it's playing out the way it's playing out, where it looks like he's holding a team hostage. But everything that's ever been written about Deshaun Watson has been positive. Even today, there's apparently some type of parade in his honor.
Right.
All right, today, which I think probably in bad form because it's MLK Day, but it is a parade in Houston among some people who are huge Texans and Deshaun Watson fans, right? Mm-hmm. So Deshaun Watson obviously found out about this parade. Deshaun Watson put out a public plea, please don't march in my honor. COVID's running rampant in our streets. Stay healthy. Well, I appreciate the support. Please don't do this. So the guy gets it, man. Now, I hate it. I will always hate it when a player holds a team hostage. But much like you as a Net fan, you're going to come around very quickly when my man starts with a triple dub. All right? Although he turned the ball over a little too much, he starts with a triple dub. Is now the Net all-time leader for single-game assists, right? You're going to very quickly come around to liking having James Harden. As a Jet fan, if you told me that the New York Jets traded 3 consecutive first-round picks to get Deshaun Watson, I'm going to be the guy at the airport. Welcoming Deshaun Watson to town, whether I like what he did in Houston or not. Because as we discussed last week, we are selfish and we are greedy when it comes to our sports fandom. And that has typically served us well. So, if the New York Jets are listening, and I know that they are, I know that Deshaun Watson was in New York. I told you that on Friday.
Yes.
And it trickled out over the weekend. He bought a buddy of his a car, and they videotaped it. So I put out a little tweet. Hey, Jets, my main man Deshaun Watson's in town. He just bought his buddy a car. And I connected, he's 2 agents. A lot of guys do. There's a marketing agent.
Right.
He gets you all the deals off the field. You know, the Wheaties and Campbell's soup and that kind of stuff. And then there's a contract agent. I reached out or connected my tweet to the marketing agent. And then why did I do it? I didn't know that he had 2 agents at the time. I knew that guy was one of his agents, though. And he's a Brooklyn kid. And I said, go get Deshaun Watson. He's in New York right now, rocking the Beamer from Paid in Full video. Okay? The agent liked the tweet.
So that means Deshaun Watson's coming to the Jets. That confirms it.
That means I'm about to unearth the legendary bullhorn. The one that got us Brett Favre. You remember the one? Let's get Brett. Let's get Brett. And
get it on, get me Deshaun.
We will do our part to try to get Deshaun Watson here. I don't know, whatever.
And I'll tell you,
whatever part that possibly could be.
I don't know if it's just I don't know if it's your tweet. I don't know if it's just using logic. I don't know if it's my high of James Harden and Francisco Lindor. I am not afraid of Deshaun Watson saying no to the New York Jets. I'm not.
I don't think he would.
I don't think he would.
Yeah, Robert Saleh was one of the guys he wanted them to interview for coach.
Right.
So we got one of the coaches he wants.
Look, if Deshaun Watson says to the Houston Texans, and reportedly he hasn't said anything yet. He hasn't said trade me.
He has not.
But there's a belief that that's eventually going to happen. I'm sure Deshaun Watson would prefer the Miami Dolphins. With respect to the Dolphins, I prefer them too. Not because I would want to live in Miami, but I understand warm weather, hell of a coach, great foundation. They were almost a playoff team this year. Totally get it. But in this kind of circumstance, I don't think Craig Deshaun's going to be able to just push his way to one particular team. And I think his issue with the Texans is not just the roster. So for anyone who says, well, what about the Jet roster? I think it's the organization. It's the owner. One quote that I read over the weekend was, well, what if they fire Jack Esterby, one of the highly hated guys who runs the Texans?
Yeah.
And the answer was, well, Cal McNair would have to fire Cal McNair, which shows
It's
you
an
that
ownership thing.
Deshaun has an issue with ownership. And that is very difficult to fix. And I don't think it can be fixed by hiring Eric Bieniemy. I don't think it can be fixed by, making a move here and there. So there is hope. And by the way, a hope that you didn't have a week ago that you have now, and that gives me even more hope.
Yeah, I agree with you, by the way, because he said when they traded D-Hop that he was at an anger level of 2, but when the owner lied to him, he went to an anger level of 10.
There you go.
So it wasn't just about the fact they got rid of his security blanket and best wide receiver. It was that he's being lied to. No grown man wants to be lied to. I get that. On a couple other things. Playoff football from the weekend.
Yes.
Say what you want to say. We hated him for the last 15 years. There's just nobody better than Tom Brady, period, stop. I mean, again, he goes out there, doesn't play the greatest game he's ever played, makes the throws when he's got to make the throws. That's what he does. And here we are again, I think, the 14th time now he's in the championship game? It's just stupid. At this point, he even threw a good pass to Brees' kid after the game.
That was correct. Well, Drew Brees was also in. I don't think we should feel bad in saying it because it looks like Drew's going to be Drew's last game. He's going to retire. Here are the facts. Drew Brees stunk yesterday.
Yeah.
He was abysmal. The few interceptions, it's 2 interceptions he threw, both were with a clean pocket. Like, he was very inaccurate. He can't throw the deep ball. There's no life on his football. And look, at this point, it doesn't matter. He's going to retire. It certainly looks that way.
Yeah.
What's amazing about Tom Brady, and I remember saying this 3 years ago, and here we are again back in another title game, obviously this time with the Buccaneers in the NFC title game. If you're not convinced he's the greatest of all time yet, then nothing's going to convince you. Like, winning a Super Bowl with Tampa, as insane as that would be, that ain't going to convince you because you should already be convinced. And I hate saying it, but it's the reality, and you hit on it. This is going to be his 14th championship game.
Just stupid.
It's absurd.
Yeah. I mean, it's stupid. And as much as we hate him, it's like Jordan. He's the guy. He's the guy. There's no even debating it. He's the guy. The other thing I took out of this weekend, it's interesting. Kansas City, right? So they lose Mahomes to the concussion. He's wobbly, can't stand up.
Right.
And then clearly, the cobwebs cleared, and he was able to jog a kind of half run into the tunnel. We all saw it. And they did the right thing. Concussion protocol, can't play, blah, blah, blah. How about the balls on Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs with Chad Henne there when everybody, including Nance and Romo, us too, are all saying they're going to try to get him to jump off sides, maybe a punt, and let's see what goes on here. And with Chad Henne, they still throw the pass to Hill, and every single person watching, that was your prototypical, no, yes, yes. But it defies logic, right? Well, like every fan loves it when you do it successfully. But before you do it, every fan is saying, run the ball.
Especially with Chad
Henne.
the
Clock. I mean, Chad Henne. And they went the other way, and it was brilliant.
The 2-play sequence of 3rd and 14 right after the Myles Garrett sack where Chad Henne goes for 13 yards, looked like he almost had the first down. So sequence number 1 is getting it close enough to even consider the possibility of going for it on 4th down. And then the guts, and I think we all agreed with Romo, they're just trying to draw him off sides. It probably won't work. You're giving it a try. To call the play that they did, and for Henne, to his credit, to make the play to Tyreek Hill was tremendous. But keep this in mind, and I'm not here to bash Baker Mayfield. He'll be back. He'll get another opportunity. Dude, they got the football with 8 minutes to go, down by 5. Baker Mayfield had the ball in his hands with Patrick Mahomes gone, with a chance to lead his team down the field and go win the football game. And they failed. And Kevin Stefanski made a decision that I assume you would have hated, which is with about 4 minutes to go in the game, he decided to punt on 4th and 8.
Yeah.
I get it. You're on your own 35, 36-yard line. Dude, there's a good chance, even with Henne at quarterback.
Well, that's
even
the
with
thought.
Henne,
You're going to punt, and can my defense stop Chad Henne?
Well,
that's the thought process. I didn't kill him for it.
How about the challenge? The Stefanski challenge was even
stupid,
worse.
But I didn't kill him for punting because I got to believe that my defense is going to stop Chad Henne in that moment. Listen, they didn't. And it was great to watch. That is if, of course, you got CBS yesterday. Because I was trying to watch the game. And for the first 20 minutes or so, no game. No game. Now, I'm a very happy Xfinity customer. I usually get the channels that I push 802.
Right.
That's CBS, high def. 802 said, go F yourself. go F myself. I'm just trying to watch a little NFL football here in the weekend with my family. So I did what everyone else does. I unplugged it. I plugged it back in because that's usually the fix for things, right?
Yes.
And then 802 told me, go F yourself again. So then I decided, let me check other channels. I got the AKC Dog Show, no problem. I got bowling, no problem. I got every other channel, no problem. The only channel I wanted to watch, which was CBS yesterday, no CBS. And then it took about 45 minutes for CBS out on Twitter to go, we are having technical difficulties. Yeah, you think? Now, I'm Xfinity. It was out on Optimum. It was out on DirecTV. So unless you had like an app or some other manner of watching it, no football. So I missed the first Kansas City touchdown.
That sucks, man. I saw you I saw you tweet about it, and I thought it was just you. And then I checked your mentions, and everybody had the same problem.
Yeah, like what the
I
F?
locally had no problem. I
What
got
are
to
we
tell
doing?
you, I didn't miss a second.
What, did a transponder go? Did someone forget to push the button so I could hear Jim Nantz and Tony Romo from Kansas City? And Jim Nantz is coming up with us in about 10 minutes. I'm going to ask him about it. I just wonder if they're aware of it when
does
it's
he
happening.
know that it's happening?
Like, does someone
Right.
tell Jim in his ear, we got a little blackout on the East Coast. Yeah, the number one market in America. Nobody can see the game right now.
Nobody. It was parts of it, though, because I saw it. So it wasn't all in New York.
Oh, why don't you gloat
I'm
a
not
little bit?
No, I'm not bragging.
Oh.
I didn't do anything special. I put on
Evan
my
got
cable.
to see the start of the game.
Do you want me to tell you what happened?
Ooh. Yeah, I got some buddies that live in Connecticut.
Yeah.
But they're close enough to New York where New York's their main market. But they also pick up the Hartford local channels.
CBS affiliate, right.
So he went to Channel 2, not there. He went to the Hartford CBS affiliate, no problem.
Really?
Yeah, sons of bitches.
So when did you get the game? At what point? What was the score when you got the game? Was it 13-3? Was it the Kelsey touchdown?
No, it was after. There's only one score.
Oh, so it was the opening drive
It was
touchdown.
the opening drive
where
touchdown.
Harrison Butker missed an extra point.
Yeah, that was
stunning.
it. That was the only score I missed. So what was that? 20
It was
minutes?
the first drive of the game. It was the first 15, 20 minutes
actual
of the
total
game.
minutes of real time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if you had trouble watching the game yesterday, we'd love you to call us 877-337-6666. Then I got my kids online going, Dad, I got an app we can use. I'm like, no. We're not using some kind of Fugazi app. I trust that it'll come back soon.
The next time
I just didn't know when.
Next time you have an issue, you call Uncle Evan. I've got a YouTube TV account. I'll gladly give you my login.
And how am I going to watch it on that?
What do you mean? How are you going to watch it on that? It's an app.
The app where you get local channels.
It's a
through
legal
YouTube.
app. Yeah. No, it's a great service, YouTube TV. Except they
Nice.
need to get Yes back and MSG. Other than that, they do a great job, which is a big hole in their system. But you just call Uncle Evan. I would have helped you out,
All right,
man.
next time I'll call you.
All right.
I tweeted it out, though, because it made me feel better.
We
I don't
all
know
do
why.
that. No,
I
I
just
do
felt
it
better
too.
like, F you, CBS.
Did it make
Give
you-
me my football.
Did it make you feel better when people said, I'm having the same problem
Yes,
too?
I did.
Yeah.
Because you always think it's just your problem. Like, am I the only guy? Did I not pay that bill? Isn't Channel 2 included with all packages? And I'm racking my brain. Then my technology brain kicks in. Oh, I know what to do.
Unplug
it. I'm yelling at Sonny, unplug it. Because it's not that. We get every other channel. It's got to be a CBS problem. And it was. It was.
On the worst time for
Yeah.
it to have happened.
Though the worst time would be the Super Bowl.
Well, let me.
And they have the Super Bowl this year. I'd be worried. I'd be worried right now.